Hi everyone, hello, how are you my fellow yummy mummies and cherry cheek chummies? Don't forget to give my video a thumbs up, comment below and subscribe if you do so wish. That would be absolutely lovely. Today I'm going to talk about a little bit of a sensitive topic, and I know a lot of you are going, here we go again, but these are things that have affected me in my life, and I find it very therapeutic to do these vlogs, and also hope that it's of some comfort to other people that are going through it. So in particular today I wanted to touch upon postnatal depression. Still a bit of a taboo. A lot of people suffer from it, and I just wanted to say about my experience, where it wasn't so little, but my experience with postnatal depression. As most of you may or may not know, I had my dearest little daughter in July of 2016. She is my first and only little daughter, my only child, and I am an older mummy. It's classed as a geriatric pregnancy, would you believe? And I had a few issues with the pregnancy. I had a little bit of bleeding. I had also discovered that I had fibroids, as I've mentioned in previous videos, and I had to be monitored quite closely. And at one point they said to me, what did they say? If your daughter's born early, we have to make sure that her lungs are properly separated, etc. So we're going to have to give you a steroid injection. I don't know if you've ever had a steroid injection, but they are not the most pleasant things at all. So I had one of those, and I had very difficult long labour, which I'm not going to go into too much detail here. But I found when I came back from the hospital, we were there for about 6 days. We both obviously had strep B. Again, I've mentioned this before in another video. And it really took it out of me, and it was a very long labour, and I've never been so tired in all my life. And anyway, we came back, and I remember just feeling like a zombie. I just felt detached. I felt, although I was over the moon to have this beautiful little girl, I felt numb, I think was probably the best word to describe it. And I think it was quite hard to tell my partner at the time, and we are pretty good, me and my partner. We do talk about mostly everything, because I think communication is a real key in a relationship. In fact, someone told me once that there's the 3 C's: care, communication and cuddles, and it is so true to have in a relationship. If you don't have those, then it's not good. And anyway, I digress. I just remember just not feeling as happy as I could have been, and taking her home and just feeling so out of it. And we went home, and I was not with it. I felt like a zombie. My brain was not engaged. I was just forgetful, and I think the tiredness obviously didn't help. And I think the worst time was when my partner went back to work. That was really hard, because obviously you only get a very short parental leave if you're a father. And he went back to full-time work, and I was on my own in the house, and my dad was here as well, he was being cared for by an agency, and I had suddenly had this baby, and I didn't know what I was doing. And one day she'd been crying all night, and I looked after her, because it only made sense, because he was working full time, and I certainly could not expect him to get up in the middle of the night to look after her. So obviously I would do it, and I was so tired. I was so tired, and I had this little girl, and she'd been up half the night, and bless her, because obviously being a newborn, and I just sat on the edge of my bed, and I couldn't move. And my partner was really worried about me, but I absolutely insisted, and she was just crying. She was crying, but I absolutely insisted that he went to work. And I just sat there, and I just cried, and I cried, and I didn't have anyone. And in the end, my partner called my cousins, and my cousins came over, and one of them, bless her, looked after Molly, and the other one sat on my bed and chatted to me. And I just remember a friend of mine coming over, and she was looking at Molly in the cot, and she said, oh, she said, she's beautiful. I could look at her for hours. She's so beautiful, I could stare at her for hours. And I couldn't see it. And I feel so bad for admitting that. I could not see it. It took me a while to bond with my daughter. And I feel really bad because she is a gift. She was and is a gift. And things kind of got a bit worse. And I went to the doctor, just giving me antidepressants that just gave me nasty side effects. And she said that there's no treatment for you here. If you're on the mainland, there'll be better service. And I went to a so-called specialist on the island, and he basically told me that they would take my baby away, and this makes me really angry, really angry, and that there was a mother and baby unit for postnatal depression, but it was up in Manchester. I live in the south. There was no help, there was no support. I had nothing. I've been let down by the mental health practice here. I can tell you that now, and it's not the doctor's fault. It's not that they're limited. They're limited to what they can work with. But I have been let down, and I'm angry, and I'm upset about it, and I've had to deal with that. Basically, me and my partner have just had to deal with that. So what do? If you've got postnatal depression, where do you go? The only place that would talk to me was Pandas, which is a postnatal depression society, and obviously men can go as well. It's not just women. Men do get postnatal depression too. It's just, it can be tough for dads too, and they can be left out or feel left out. And I spoke to them, and all I wanted was counselling. You'd think something as simple as that I could easily get. Could not get it. I could not get it, and I just feel so let down. And at the time, I felt so alone. I was in the house. My dad was disabled in the house, and he can't talk to me. He has dysphasia, so he can't talk to me. He can't even say my name. And I had this little baby, and I didn't know what I was doing, and I just felt so out of it. And I thought, at the time, I was just all over the place. And looking back now, I realised that can't be normal. That can't be normal. Obviously, the lack of sleep doesn't help, but we expect lack of sleep with a newborn, obviously. You can forgive that. But I am worried that if I had another child, I would experience the same thing. And I want to speak out, and I want to reach out to other ladies who might have it, think they might have it, are struggling getting any help they need. And it's wrong. It's wrong that we don't get the treatment that we deserve. I have given up. I've given up now, and I'm getting by. And I do mindfulness at WOW, which I've mentioned in a previous video, which really helps. But yes, there is a part of me that is worried that if I was to have another child, that postnatal depression would creep back in. I'm really worried about that, and not having that support. So where do I go? Again, it's the same situation with my friend that I've mentioned before, with her mental health. If that creeps back, where do I go to get the help? I'm just left to struggle on. Given drugs that don't get on with my body, those things, nasty, by the way. Some people have them, fine. If you get on with them, it's your life, it's your body, it's your choice. If they make you feel better, that's really good. I'm really pleased for you. But they've done nothing but give me side effects and not helped at all. And I just want to look. I don't believe that it's just a case of, oh, you've got depression, I'll write you a prescription. Yes, it is a chemical imbalance in your brain, I may add. So yes, sometimes you need chemicals to balance it out. But there should be more choices. And at the moment, there isn't. And I feel bad. I feel guilty that I did not bond with my little one straight away. And I love her to bits. I would die for her. Any mother would say that about their child, because they love them that much. But to not have that support, I'm sorry, but I can't forgive you for that. I can't forgive the government making all these cuts and everything. I can't forgive them for it. And I did have some help from a counsellor at Barnardos, but you're only allowed 5 sessions, adult counselling. And the council have cut that now. They've stopped the children's services, a lot of them at the children's centres. They're like the Marie Celeste. Where are you supposed to go? It's the same old issue. And I guess I just felt abandoned. And I don't have much of a family support network. I don't obviously have my mother anymore. My dad, I don't really have. My cousins are poorly. They're poorly, and I can't rely on them too much. So it comes down to me and my partner has not got that support network. So where is he supposed to go? So I'd like to say thank you very much, government and council, for not helping me. And I can tell you now that it's going to get worse. You keep cutting things, it's going to get worse, and there's going to be more and more people struggling, and I think the whole thing will just implode. And I just want to say to the ladies out there, you will get through it. Don't feel ashamed. Don't feel guilty. Talk to someone. Even if you just message me and say, hey, look, I think I've got it. I'm struggling. Whatever. I just want other people to reach out. This is one of the main reasons why I'm making this video. And no one should have to go. No one should have to go through it, let alone go through it alone. And it's also about having access to counselling, to tools that help you cope and help you change your thought pattern. And the other thing I was saying, obviously I mentioned about chemicals. When you've had a baby, you've got oxytocin, you've got all these chemicals and all these hormones going on in your body, having basically a party. Boy, I wish I'd been invited. And you've got this lack of sleep as well. So you've got all this stuff going on as well. So one thing I would say now, if me had come up to me now and said, I am suffering, I would say, take it easy. Go easy on yourself. Take it easy. You've just had a baby. That's a massive, massive thing. Try and be strong and try and just literally, it's cliche, but take each day as it comes. If you're really struggling, reach out. If you don't speak to pandas, there's always Mind. Again, with Mind, there is no branch on the island, and so it goes on. But I've also mentioned the Richmond Fellowship, who are excellent on the island, and the Samaritans I've also mentioned. Again, I'll put those links below. If you generally struggle with mental health issues, and yeah, if you just generally struggle with mental health issues, do comment below, do talk to me. I'm not that scary, honestly. And I'm really sorry that women have to go through this, and some of them don't get the treatment that they really deserve. I want to also add that if you're a lady that has had treatment, can you let me know? If you're a lady who hasn't had treatment, let me know. If you are a daddy and you've suffered, let me know. I'm here to chat, honestly, and I would really like to hear from you all. This is a really difficult video to make, and this is why I try and balance some of the videos out, because I know throughout everything that I have strength, I have resilience, and also I have my humour, and that's something no one can ever take away from me. No matter how dark those days were, I always had my humour and my strength, and that's why I like to mix my videos up as well, because I don't want to be known as the sensitive kind of, what's the word? I don't want to be known as the negative channel or anything like that. What I'm trying to do is address real life issues that are affecting people. That's what I'm trying to do. And even if I just help one person, or one person knows that I'm there if they want to message me, or one link that I've put below has helped that person, I've done my job. I've done it. So for now, it's been a very long day. I am going to sign off. I am going to have a nice bath, and I'd like to say thank you for watching.